Ready? Okay, good morning, everybody. This is a code enforcement hearing for the city of North Miami. Today is June 5. I'm Jose Smith, the special magistrate that will be sitting during today's meeting. The special magistrate is empowered under the Florida statutes and the code of the city of North Miami to hold code enforcement or code violation hearings. The purpose of this hearing is to determine if a code violation exists at your property as observed and cited by a code enforcement officer of this city. If the city is not able to prove its case, then I will dismiss the case and you may leave. These proceedings are being recorded, therefore all persons who are speaking should do so one at a time to ensure that all testimony is clearly audible on the recording device. If English is not your primary language, then please inform me when I call your case. We have interpreters who will be able to assist you during these proceedings. When your case is called, the property owner, agent for the property owner, and any witness that you may have should come forward to the podium on the left side of the room. When asked, please speak directly into the microphone and say aloud your name, your business, your mailing address, and your relationship to the property. If you are not the property owner or an attorney for the property owner, then you must present a notarized power of attorney or affidavit in order to be able to testify on behalf of the property owner. For new cases, you will be asked for the record if you are aware and understand the violation that is being heard today, and do you understand what is required to resolve the violation. Please answer accordingly. The city will present its case first, and then the property owner or the alleged violator will be given an opportunity to testify on their own behalf, to bring witnesses, testify, present evidence and photographs, and cross-examine the city's witnesses. Following the case presentation, I will issue a finding of facts on the case. If I find that a violation of city codes exists or existed on your property, then depending upon the case type, I will set an abatement or compliance date for the violation to be resolved or cured. For repeat violations, I will impose a daily fine amount. For new non-repeat cases, my order will include an abatement date by which you must resolve the violation and a daily fine amount that may be imposed at a future hearing date should the violation not be resolved by the abatement or compliance date. If I find sufficient cause to postpone enforcement action at this time, I will table or continue the case to another hearing date in the future. If you do not agree with my findings of fact or my ruling on your case, then the property owner may appeal the administrative order on the case to the circuit court. An appeal must be filed timely within 30 days of the date of the execution of the administrative order to be appealed. In accordance with Florida law, if a person decides to appeal any decision made by the special magistrate with respect to any matter considered in these proceedings, then the person will need a verbatim record or a transcript of the proceedings. This record includes the testimony and evidence upon which the appeal is to be based. The cost of obtaining the verbatim record shall be the sole responsibility of the appellant. And it is recommended that persons who plan to appeal or wish to appeal their case should provide their own court reporter at these proceedings. Pursuant to city codes, if the city of North Miami prevails in prosecuting a case before the special magistrate, the city shall be entitled to recover all costs incurred in prosecuting the case. The current cost assessment amount is $100 per case. Once the city records an order that imposes a fine and authorizes a lien against the property, then the city will charge additional administrative fees to record and release the lien. Now, if you're giving testimony today on any case, please rise and raise your right hand as the police officer will administer the oath. Then remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
You're going to be speaking on a case up here. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, say aloud, I do. I do. I do. Everyone, please stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Translated. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the translations which you are about to give in these proceedings will be accurate and correct to the best of your knowledge, skills, and ability? Thank you.
At this time, I will ask the clerk or the code compliance manager to announce any additions, corrections, or any deletions from the hearing agenda.
Item number 13, SDNOV 2019-00060 has complied. Item number 24, CEPFY 2019-00086 has complied. Item 25, CEROS 2018-00002 has complied. Item 26, CEEXP 2019-00040 has complied. And those are all the amendments to the agenda.
Thank you very much. Is the city ready to proceed?
Yes, the city's ready to proceed with the ticket appeal agenda. We would like to proceed with agenda item number 2, case number CT SIP 2019-00004, Dixie Highway Enterprises, Inc. at 12900 West Dixie Highway, with Officer Ernst Baptiste being the witness.
Anybody here present for the property owner? If so, please come right up. Nobody?
Your Honor,
Somebody is raising her hand. Are you here on the Dixie Highway Enterprises, Inc. matter? Okay. All right. I go ahead and proceed.
okay. Your Honor, a notice to appear for today's hearing was mailed out via United States Postal Service certified mail on May 21st of 2019, saying that the appellant has not appeared for today's duly noticed hearing. The city is requesting that his appeal be rejected and the ticket be affirmed with court costs.
So ruled. The appeal is dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor. City will proceed with agenda item number 1, CTBPR 2019-00016, Desiree Marlene at 1040 Northwest 122nd Street, Officer Karen Jean Lewis.
Sir, will you please state your full name and street address for the record?
My name is Mr. Jean Philippe, currently living at 1040 Northwest 122nd Street, North Miami, Florida.
Are you the property owner?
Yes, I am, and unfortunately, City of North Miami keep making somebody else the corner of that property. I don't know who that person is.
Okay, so the person listed on the ticket is Desiree Marlene, is that correct?
It is issued in 2 violators' names, Desiree Marlene and Jean Philippe.
Okay, and you're here to appeal the citation, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, city, proceed.
If I can get my witness to please state your name for the record.
Good morning. My name is Code Officer Karen Jean Lewis.
And Officer Jean Lewis, on or about January 28th of 2019, did you issue ticket number 12381 to Desiree Marlene and Jean Phillip?
Yes.
Can you verify that this is the ticket that you issued?
Yes, this is the ticket.
City
wanna-
wishes to
you wanna
enter into evidence.
You want to introduce it into evidence without objection?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Officer Jean Lewis, what is the violation for which you issued your ticket?
The violation is for work without a permit, Chapter 5-32.
And how did you find out about the violation?
I was, at the time, training another code officer. We were in the area where we were flagged down by a gentleman who told us, hey, the items you notice in the yard, please don't cite us for them. We're working on the kitchen, and that is the reason why the items are in the yard. I checked the computer, and at the time, there was not a permit on file. I left a courtesy notice requesting that the property owner get in contact with me because I did not see a permit prior to issuing the ticket.
And were you able to identify who the person was that you had the conversation with? Was it a contractor?
No, it was just a young male in the yard. He didn't identify himself as a contractor. He just advised that they were doing interior kitchen repairs due to some water damage caused by the hurricane.
And in your view of the property, did you see anything that would lead you to believe that there was interior renovations occurring?
Yes,
Were you able to take any photographic evidence of these conditions?
I believe there should be in the file.
Can you verify that this photograph dated January 25th, 2019 was taken by you?
Yes, that's the yard the day that I observed the items in the yard.
Any objection to the introduction of the photograph?
Yes, I am, Your Honor. I got a couple of objections.
What is your objection to the?
The first thing, the officer said she issued the ticket on the 28th.
No, I'm not asking that. I'm saying, is this a copy, is this picture, does it
That's my
accurately
property, Your Honor. Yes,
represent
that's my property.
your property on the
Yes,
day
Your
in
Honor.
question?
Yes,
Okay,
Your Honor.
that's the only question.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I will introduce, I will allow the introduction of the photograph dated January 25, 2019, which I've now reviewed. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Officer Jean Lewis, what is depicted in the photograph?
In the photograph, it appears to be the cabinetry that would hold the sink in the kitchen. There's plywood. There's also a ladder on top of a truck. And that's what I see in the picture.
And is interior renovations of the kitchen the type of work that the city would require a building permit for?
That is correct. On that date, which was January 25th, I made contact with Rahima Golding at the building department. I explained to her what happened, how the young man told us, hey, don't cite us, we're fixing the kitchen, what I saw in the yard, and she said, go ahead and write a ticket because there's no permit on file for that property address. As a courtesy, because I've spoken to Mr. Phillip before in the past, I wrote a courtesy notice prior to writing the ticket. Per the city ordinance, upon finding evidence that work is being done without a permit, officers are supposed to immediately write a ticket. I didn't write the ticket until 3 days later.
No further questions, Your Honor.
And that was on the 28th of January.
That is correct.
According to city code, construction or work without a permit carries a $500 fine, and the section of the code that is being cited for is section 5-32A. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, anything further from the city?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, let me hear from the property owner.
Thank you, Your Honor. This case is about to prove that that citation should have never been issued, and they know it. They issued that citation based on the vendetta that they have with me. I'm gonna prove it black and white. And second, Ms. Jean Reese, I have never spoke with her prior to January the 29th, and I can prove that. And I can prove that. Your Honor, the official citation that you have in your hand says January 29, 2019, not January 28, 2019. I got it right here, January 29, 2019. It was not issued on January 28, 2019, as she testified on the oath.
You want to show it to me?
Yes, Your Honor. Behind.
For the record, this is a pink copy of the original citation dated 12381. And I've examined it and giving it back to the city attorney.
If you can just verify the issue date as stated in the carbon copy.
It
The-
says,
The carbon copy doesn't reflect
I
the
didn't.
actual date issued on the original. Apparently, the copy is not a clear copy of the original, but I find that they are the same. Sir, go ahead.
Your Honor, and I have a couple of questions to ask to the officer, if you allow me to.
You can ask questions of the city.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
Okay, officer, the officer testifies that she sent me a courtesy notice on the 25th. Am I correct? I would like to ask the question to you.
You can ask the code officer any question that's relevant, that's related to the testimony that she provided.
Exactly, Your Honor. Officer Jean Reese, you stated that on the 25th you gave me a courtesy notice. Am I correct?
that is correct. It was
Okay.
posted to the property.
On the 29th, when I spoke with you in front of my property, I did show you a letter that I was gonna send to the person who requested a permit for the job. Am I correct?
Yes, you showed me a letter stating, and you explained to me and my coworker at the time
Mhm.
that you paid someone to do work for you over $2,000, and they did not hold the end on their end of the bargain. They didn't obtain a permit. They took your money and didn't do any work as far as just removing the kitchen cabinets that were outside.
Okay, let me clarify. I stated that I paid a contractor. Am I correct?
That's what you said.
Okay. That's the only day that me and you we spoke about the thing. Is that the only day that me and you we spoke about the contractor thing?
That was the only day that me and you made physical contact.
No, that's not my question. Is that the only time me and you we spoke about the contractor?
That was the only time that I saw you and we spoke about the contract, and you showed me a letter.
Okay. I'm providing to the city attorney a document that she wrote 5 days prior to even talking to me about the contractor.
This is the courtesy notice that I left at your property stating that there's no permit on file for the kitchen remodeling in the system. To double check with your contractor, or a civil violation will be, civil
Ms. Jennings,
violation ticket
Ms.
will be
Jennings.
issued
Let her answer,
for
please.
the permit.
No, Ms. Jean Reese. Ms. Jean Reese, please.
City has no objection to introduction.
You
of it.
spoke to me only once on the 29th, January 29th, about the contractor. Or comes on the 25th, 4 days prior to talking to me, and you wrote very clearly that I have to double check with the contractor.
That is correct, because when you contract with someone to do work at your property, that person has to go to the city to obtain a permit. That is the process.
Ms. Jean Reese.
And that's the reason why I wrote it, because when I checked the computer, there was no permit on file. Also, I had Rahima Golding, who works in the building department, double check. Because sometimes there's errors and there was nothing on file. That's why I said, and the courtesy notice, please make contact with your contractor to see if maybe there was an error. Maybe they pulled the permit, it's just the wrong address. I was trying to help you. That's the reason why I
Jean
wrote
Reese,
it on
that's
the
not the question
25th.
I asked you. The question I asked you very simple. How do you know 4 days prior to talking to me about the contractor, there was a contractor? That's the question.
There was work being done at your property, stated by the gentleman who flagged me down. I wrote in the courtesy notice to please contact your contractor. I don't know whether you had one or not.
So you don't know how the contractor or not on the 25th. But you would check, please double check with the contractor to see if I have a permit. How did you know I had a contractor 4 days prior to even making contact with me?
Objection
and
asked
talk?
and answered.
I also, I don't see any relevance. You're being charged with doing work without a permit.
Your Honor,
So the issue is, do you or don't you have a permit for the work that was being conducted at the house? That's all.
Your Honor, it's very simple. There was no work being done at the premise. There was no work being done.
There was work being done?
There was no work
There was
being
no
done.
work. So let's deal with that issue as opposed to what happened, with a contractor or anybody else.
Officer Jean Louis, the day that I spoke with you on the 29th, did I invite you to come to my house to verify that there was no work being done?
No, I didn't go inside of your home, sir.
No, did I invite you?
No.
I did not invite you. You're on the oath. I did not invite you, allow you. You
No,
can
you
come
did
in.
not. And my coworker who I was training is in
You
the
are
back. She can
testifying that your
testify
coworker-
to that.
Don't interrupt
You
the
did
witness.
not.
Please let her
You
finish.
did not.
So I did not invite you.
You did not, no.
Okay. I told you very clearly, if you cite me, I'm going to appeal the case. Did I tell you?
Yes, you did, and I
Okay.
told you you have every right to do so.
Okay, I appeal the case. And what happened when I appeal the case?
When you came to the office, you filled out the form to appeal the case. The administrative staff processed it, and I posted the notice to appear, and here you are today.
And how come I spoke with your supervisor, Ms. Cordo. They have no record that I have never received any invitation to participate, to take part in the hearing.
Then how are you able to be here today, sir?
No. I'm talking about the previous hearing where a lien was imposed on my property on Friday.
There was no hearing prior.
Okay.
The ticket was liened for not being paid.
Okay, there was no hearing. You just testified there was no hearing. Am I correct, your officer?
There was not a hearing for the ticket, no.
Your Honor, I have something in mind coming from City of North Miami,
Okay.
stating very clearly.
What is the relevance?
It says a hearing was held, very clearly.
But does it have anything to do with this
Yes, Your Honor.
violation?
He has to do with that.
Counsel, any objection? Something about a prior hearing?
There wasn't a prior hearing.
City objects to the extent that this order does not appear to be a legible copy and does not identify which charging document is being leaned for. As it relates to this case, this is the first hearing that we're ever having on this
Yeah,
ticket.
I
And this order doesn't identify.
sustain the objection to the introduction of the exhibit as being irrelevant to these proceedings.
Your Honor, please. The same document.
I
that was-
ruled it has nothing to do with this case.
But Your Honor, there was a lien imposed on my property because of that hearing. I have it right in my hand.
Not as a result of the matter that is before me today.
Okay, what,
So if you want to challenge that, there are other ways of challenging it.
I'm
I'm
not
not going to hear it.
Your Honor, I'm not challenging anything. I'm just pointing out to you that due to a hearing that was held, there was a proper a decision was made, and they imposed a lien on my property because of that hearing. It's right there. It's signed by a magistrate, Code Enforcement Special Magistrate, Beatrice Cazot. And he says clearly, letterhead of City of North Miami. And I'm reading for you. This matter was heard by the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate of the City of North Miami Upon notification that violation pursuant to section 2121, City of Miami, blah, 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 as ordered as follow. They said very clearly there was a hearing, and the outcome of that hearing, there was an imposition of lien on my property. And
What-
she
what
just
is-
testified there was no
what-
hearing.
It has nothing to do with the hearing before me today. So if you have any further evidence, please bring it forward. I'm not going to hear prior cases.
Your Honor, the way I see it, I don't even have a case. The way I see it now, I have been cited wrongfully. I prove, first of all, is a bunch of discrepancies in the documents, the court documents they provided to me. Everything has been presented very clearly. Now, what do I have to say?
You deny that there was any work being done in your
No,
kitchen?
Your Honor, there
on the
was
da-
no any work, and I spoke with her supervisor, Ms. Cordo. She told me, Mr. Philip, can I come to your house to verify? I said, yes, I'm home. I just got back from Haiti. You are free to come and verify. There is no work being done. Her supervisor. And I spoke to her more than 6 times on the phone.
Okay, counsel, let me hear one more time in closing why has the city concluded that there was work being done without a permit?
Thank you, Your Honor. Based off of the witness's testimony, there was witness statements given by a person on the property that he was making repairs, interior kitchen renovation repairs to the property at the time. At that time, he told the code officer that he did not have a violation, pleaded for mercy, asked for no civil.
Did not have a violation or did not have a permit?
He did not have a permit, and at
Okay.
that time asked for no violation to be issued because he knew that he was completing work without a permit. Based off of the officer's testimony, she also viewed corroborating evidence in the form of a photograph that she took on site that showed legibly all types of construction materials consistent with the witness's statement that interior renovations were occurring. A check of the city's system showed no permits on file, and this is the type of work that is required to have a permit on file as verified by the Building and Zoning Department.
Okay, I find that a violation of the city code exists based on the evidence presented and the testimony of the witness. I affirm the citation and deny the appeal by the homeowner. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next case.
City will proceed with agenda item number 3, case number CTBPR 2019-00045, Eduardo Boquin and Wife America at 1580 Northeast 143rd Street, Officer Karen Jean Lewis.
Sir, please state your full name and street address for the record.
Morning, Your Honor. My name is Eduardo Boquin. My address is 1580 Northeast 143rd Street.
Are you the property owner?
Yes, sir.
And you are challenging the violation that was
Yes,
issued?
because, well, I'm a first-time offender. I didn't know how to get a permit for repairing half of the roof because I was fixing little by little because it was leaking.
Yeah,
the
let
ca-
me just have the city present its case first, and then you can respond. So, Madam City Attorney, please proceed.
If I can get you to state your name for the record.
Karen Jean Lewis.
And Officer Jean Lewis, on or about March 2nd of 2019, did you issue ticket number 12396 to Eduardo and America Boquin?
Yes.
Can you verify that this is the ticket that you issued?
Yes, this is the ticket.
City wishes to present into evidence the civil violation ticket.
Without objection, admit it.
Officer Jean Lewis, what is the violation for which you issued your ticket?
The ticket is for work without a permit.
And how did you find out about the violation?
I was driving from the motor pool and I observed several workers on the roof repairing the roof. I parked my car. I checked in the system to see if there was a permit. There was no permit on file. I made contact with the gentleman working on the roof. He said his English was limited, but he would go down and make contact with the property owner. That is when I spoke to Mr. Eduardo,
Yes, sir.
and I explained to him, I said, Papi, you are not allowed to do work on the roof without first getting a permit. And he explained to me that he wasn't aware and the roof was leaking really bad, so he had to make the repairs in order to continue to be able to live in his home due to the damage that the leaking roof was doing.
And is roof work the type of work that the Building and Zoning Department would require a permit for?
Yes,
Did you take any photographic evidence to sustain the violation?
yes,
Can you verify that this photo array, consisting of 7 photographs dated March 2nd, 2019, were taken by you?
yes.
Without objection, the photographs are admitted.
And Officer Jean Lewis, what is depicted in the photographs?
In the photographs, there are roofers on the roof, repairing the roof. You'll also see off to the side the roofing material that they removed that was on the roof and what they were replacing on the roof.
And did you check the city's records to see if there was any kind of permit on file?
Yes, I checked and there was no permit on file.
And is it considered a violation of the city code to first start construction without obtaining a building permit prior?
That is correct.
No further questions, Your Honor.
What day of the week was March 2nd?
It was a Saturday.
Let me hear from the property owner.
Well,
Sir?
Your Honor, what can I say? I was forced to replace the roof because the house was leaking badly. So I have claimed with insurance, my insurance. So the case is still pending with the insurance, and nothing I can say anymore. But I need at least courtesy from her, about the roof. No, it's go straight and pay, put the fine right away, like a.
Were you, did you hire a contractor, or were you doing it on your own?
My own with friends.
With friends?
Yes.
Okay.
They
So
have they know the business, to fix the roof.
do any of them have a license?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm going to affirm the violation and deny the appeal. Thank you.
City will proceed with agenda item number 4, case number CT OSV 2019-00002, Fan Guillame at 12037 Northwest 8th Avenue. Officer Karen Jean Lewis.
Gentlemen, state your full name and street address for the record and your relationship to the property.
The property is my property. His name is Fenfenge, which is my dad.
Do we have an interpreter?
Yeah,
Do you need an interpreter, sir?
yes,
Do you need a translator?
yes.
Okay. All right, so again, state your full name and street address for the record.
I'm Fanfan Guillaume.
My name is Fanfan Guillaume.
You're the property owner?
C'est vous qui m'êtes propriétaire?
Yeah.
Yes.
At what address?
Quelle adresse?
137 Nord-Ouest 8e Avenue.
12037 Northwest 8th Avenue.
And who is the gentleman with you this morning?
Et qu'est-ce que monsieur ça qui est à côté là matin?
My son.
My
Okay.
son.
Please, sir, would you state your full name for the record?
In the microphone.
Speak into the mic.
Wenchel Guillaume.
Do you live on the property?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to hear from the city. City, proceed.
Thank you. If I can get you to state your name for the record.
Karen Jean Lewis.
And Officer Jean Lewis, on or about January 28th of 2019, did you issue ticket number 12380 to Fafan Guillaume.
Yes.
Can you verify that this is the ticket that you issued?
Yes.
Yes, there's a ticket I was given.
City wishes
Ticket
to
is
end-
admitted
Thank you.
without objection.
And what is the violation for which you issued your ticket, Officer Jean Lewis?
The ticket is for an oversized cab trailer that was parked in a residential area.
And were you able to take any photographs of the vehicle?
Yes.
Can you verify that this photo array consisting of 2 photographs dated January 28th, 2019 was taken by you?
Yes.
Yes.
Counsel, I'll admit the photograph. I just want to get for the record that this is an alleged violation of 29-5-1406D, which provides that no truck in excess of 1 ton capacity shall be stored or parked in any residential area of the city unless actively engaged in the loading or unloading of materials. Is that the violation?
Yes.
Okay,
And
and the fine that is provided for in the code is $250, correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right, proceed.
What type of vehicle is depicted in the photo array?
It's a trailer cab that's in the photo array. Prior to me issuing this violation, the ticket, I left a courtesy notice for the same property because the same vehicle was parked on the side of the house. And about a week later, the vehicle was back. So that's the reason why I issued the ticket. After issuing the ticket, I made contact with the property owner who advised that the trailer cab does not belong to him. Someone else in the neighborhood is the one that oftentimes parks it on the side of his house for convenience because he has space in his swale.
And did it appear to be actively engaged in the loading or unloading of materials?
No, it did not.
And is it considered a violation of the city's code for a truck of that capacity to be parked in that residential district?
That is correct.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Let me hear from the property owner.
Yeah, moi te wè machine nan, konè mal travay bonè.
I saw the vehicle, but I go to work early.
So, lè mwen machine nan, pase konè gen de moun ki li la kama ki te kon konti go truck.
When I saw the vehicle, because I know that there's 2 people in the neighborhood that used to drive big trucks.
Malè kote yo gen yon la de yo ki jim li pa truck la se pa pou li liye.
I went to see them. One of them told me that it was not his truck.
Lè malè kote deuxième nan, m'frape pot yo, bata di person repon.
When I went to the second one, I knocked on the door and no one responded.
Donc, sa fè ke m'pa konè ki es ki te pa ki truck la, bo kote m'na.
Therefore,
Mwen mèm truck la te nuit m'tou, pase se sa fè m'dal chèche kon met li, m'bat ka jwen met truck.
therefore, I do not know who was parking on the side because this was bothering me as well. This is why I went to seek out who the owner of the truck was because I do not know who the truck owner is.
Did you call the city to advise that there was a truck parked in front of your house?
Non, m'pat really,
Okay,
m'pat konè pou m'di fè sa.
No, I did not. I was not aware that I had to do that.
is it your testimony that you don't know who the owner of the truck is?
Non, m'pat konè.
No, I do not know. I do not know.
Okay, anything further?
Non, m'pat rien à dire.
No, there's nothing further I need.
Anything
to
from
say.
the city?
One question. Did you receive the courtesy notice left prior to the civil violation ticket from Officer Jean Lewis?
Est-ce que tu recevoir la lettre que officier Jean-Louis t'a quitté pour avant qu'il ait eu violation ticket?
On seul papier yo te kite mwen, m'te pren dal nan siti avel.
They just left.
Yo te voye en face, non lot, on lot office en face là. On a le dit comme ça que la te crié magistrat pour connaître si y a dismiss ticket là ou bien si c'est pour nous venir court.
Just one paper that I received. I took it to the city. They sent me across the street to another office, to the magistrate, where they advised me that they were going to determine if they were going to dismiss the ticket or if I had to appear.
Did you at that time let them know that that truck was not owned by you?
Pour me te dire ça.
Yes, I told them that.
No further permission to allow the witness to provide any rebutting testimony that she may have.
It's not a rebuttal, but I did speak to Mr. Guillaume, and he explained to me that the truck didn't belong to him, which is why I encouraged him to appeal the ticket, since the truck is not his and he can't control who parks on the swale in front of his property.
Did he have an opportunity to explain to you or anyone at the city that the truck was parked there without his permission?
Yes, when I made contact with him after posting the notice to appear, that is when he explained to me that the truck did not belong to him and he wasn't aware who in the neighborhood it belongs to. He was aware that several people in the neighborhood do drive trucks, but he doesn't know which one it belonged to. And I told him, well, since he's not the one who the truck belongs to, appeal the ticket.
Is the truck on the swale or on his property?
It's on the swale, abutting his property.
Have you seen the truck again?
Well, since then, I'm no longer in the area. I'm not the officer for that zone, but prior to, the truck was parked there about once a week. And the truck has been issued parking tickets as well as the courtesy notice for the truck to be moved.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dismiss the ticket, but I'm going to require you, going forward, that if you see that truck again parked in front of your home, that you are to report it to the city for the city's action. If you fail to do that, the next time you come before me, I'm going to find you guilty. Okay? Thank you.
City will proceed with agenda item number 5, case number CT BPR 2018-00085, Juan Carlos Briciano at 1491 Northeast 132nd Road, Officer Shanna Sanders.
Sir, please state your full name and street address for the record and your relationship to the property.
Okay, my name is Jorge Tirado. My mailing address is 1491 Northeast 132nd Road, North Miami, Florida 33161, and I'm one of the owners of the property.
Is Juan Carlos Briceno another owner?
Yes, sir.
So you own the property jointly?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Do you know why you're here this morning?
Yes, I am. I
Okay.
do.
And are you contesting the violation?
Yes.
Okay, so let me hear from the city.
If I can get my witness to state your name for the record.
Shanna Sanders.
And Officer Sanders, on or about December 28th of 2018, did you issue ticket number 12089 to Juan Carlos Briceno and George Luis Tirado?
Yes, I did.
Can you confirm that this is the ticket that you issued?
Yes, that is it.
You received that ticket?
Yes.
Then, without objection, it'll be introduced into evidence.
And what is the violation for which you issued your ticket?
For building without permit.
And is it considered a violation of Section 5-32 of the City Code to do building work without a permit?
Yes, it is.
And what type of work did you witness being completed without a permit?
It was the installation of a wood fence on the sides and on the sides and rear of the property.
And how did you come upon the violation?
Upon driving during my normal inspections, I noticed the installation of a new wood fence. I saw some wood leaning on the side of the property, looked new. So I looked in the computer, see if there was any permits obtained. Didn't see any, so I issued the ticket.
And did you take any photographic evidence of the work being completed?
Yes,
Can you verify that this photo array consisting of 4 photographs dated December 27th, 2018 was taken by you?
yes it is.
Without objection, the photographs are admitted.
And what is depicted in the photographs?
Is, as I already stated, the wood fence that I saw on the front and on the sides of the property, along with the wood that's leaning on the side of the house.
And is construction of a wood fence considered to be the type of work that would require a permit?
Yes, it is.
And did you perform a search of the city's records to see if there was any building permit on file on the day and time that you issued your ticket?
Yes, I did.
Was there any permit on file?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Sir, your
Yes.
turn.
Yes, thank you. Well, first, I apologize to the city of North Miami for what I did. I was not aware that I really need a permit. What you see in the pictures is that we just kind of lift up what it was done before. We just lean that wood to the existing fence, which I learned Officer Sanders were very nice and explained that it was not possible to do that. We needed to start from scratch and we need to have permits. The following day, we took everything down. Not everything, but little by little. But it took me a few days. I did it myself. I took everything down. I stopped everything. I applied for the permit, and we start from zero. As of today, we do have the permits and the final inspections and everything. I have it here.
You want to show it to me?
Sure.
Show it to the city first.
Okay. And I have this. I don't know if that is- Yes. And I started, like a week after Officer Sanders went to the house. And also I want to say that
No, I already saw that.
I never lived in a house before. All my life I lived in an apartment, so I didn't really sure about it.
Is the work done?
Yes, it's done.
Has it passed inspection?
Yes, that's what you have.
This
Yeah.
is it?
Yes, in the back you see this final, and the other piece of paper says that we did pass and everything was done properly.
Did you use a contractor or did you do it yourself?
We did it ourselves.
What is my discretion, Madam City Attorney? Can I reduce the fine? Is that within my authority?
Yes, Your Honor, especially in cases when there's compliance come into after the fact.
Okay. I will affirm the appeal in part, deny the appeal in part. I will reduce the fine to $100, and otherwise, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you. It was good.
City will proceed with agenda item number 6, case number CTMHAs 2019-00001, Nomi Condominium Association, Officer John Dorville.
Nomi Condominium Association, correct?
Correct.
Sir? Please make your appearance. Who are you and where do you live?
My name is Pablo Rodriguez. My name is Pablo Rodriguez. I am member of the owner, the management company, and member of the board.
What is the address of the condominium association?
360 Northeast 125 Street.
Okay, so you say you're manager and a member of the board?
No manager. Member of the board.
You're a member of the board, okay. And in your capacity as member of the board, do you have the association's authority to be here today and speak on behalf of the association?
Yes, sir.
Okay, city, proceed.
If I can get my witness to state your name for the record.
Good morning, John Dorval, City of North Miami Code Compliance Office.
And Officer Dorville, on or about February 22nd of 2019, did you issue ticket number 12631 to Nomi Kondo?
That is correct.
Can you verify that this is the ticket that you issued?
Yes, this is the ticket.
Without objection, the ticket is admitted.
And what is the nature of the violation for which you issued your ticket?
I issued a ticket for a commercial building that has residents, for not having operating hot water. They did not provide hot water.
Is it considered a violation of the city's minimum housing code to not provide water?
That is correct.
How did you find out about the violation?
There was a complaint phoned in to the office.
And did you complete an investigation to verify that complaint?
Upon my investigation, I promptly went to the building, and as residents actually were coming out of the building, there were several residents that were saying they hadn't had hot water for several days.
And were you able to take any kind of photographic evidence to verify the complaint?
No photographic evidence for the hot water not being on. However, I took the several residents, more than 5 residents, as they were coming out of their apartments and seeing me there, saying that they had not had hot water for some time.
How many residents live in the condominium?
It's over 20 units, I believe.
33.
33 units. Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, let me make sure that I have the right section number. 5-29A2 provides that every dwelling, and I'm paraphrasing, kitchen sinks, bathtubs, showers, and lavatories shall be properly connected to both hot and cold water lines. Is that the section of the code that is allegedly violated?
Correct.
And the fine called for by the code is $500.
That is correct.
Okay, let me hear from the association. Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, sir. La mayoría de los propietarios no pagan sus gastos comunes.
Well, most of the tenants, they do not pay their dues. Actually, the owners.
Se cortó el servicio y se restableció inmediatamente que recibimos la queja.
Well, the service was cut off, but then it was reestablished immediately after we received the complaint.
So the service was turned off when residents or owners did not pay their maintenance? Is that what you're saying?
Entonces, el servicio se cortó porque los dueños no pagaron por mantenimiento.
Y siguen sin pagar. El oficial Derby sabe, está muy al tanto de eso.
Yes, and still they have not paid, and the officer, he is well aware of that.
Okay, so do you understand that you're not allowed to turn off electrical service, utility services to the unit owners even if they don't pay the maintenance?
¿Está al tanto de que no tiene usted la autorización de cortar el servicio a los dueños aun cuando ellos no hayan pagado?
No. No es que ellos no hayan pago. La asociación no había pago el ticket, porque no había dinero.
That's not the case, actually. The association did not pay the bill because there was no money to pay.
Okay, so the city cut off the utilities to the building because of non-payment.
Entonces la ciudad cortó los servicios porque no pagaron.
No fue la ciudad, es una compañía privada, se llama Tico Gas, y en
Okay.
realidad la asociación es nueva
Okay, actually, that's not the city, it's by a private company, the name is Tico Gas, and
Okay.
that was the company.
So the gas company cut off service
Entonces, esta compañía de gas cortó los servicios. Exactly,
while there were unit owners living on the premises.
mientras habían los dueños viviendo en sus lugares.
How soon thereafter did Tico Gas restore gas service to the association?
¿Y cuánto tiempo después de eso Tico Gas restableció el servicio? ¿En cuánto?
En cuando nosotros recibimos la violación, se pagó y el mismo día restableció el servicio.
El mismo día. When we received the violation, it was paid, and on the same day it was reestablished again service.
Anything further from the city?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, as I did in the prior
Como yo
case,
hice
I
en
am
el
going
caso
to,
anterior, lo que voy a hacer es
I am going to deny the appeal.
voy a negar la
However,
apelación,
I am
pero,
going
sin
to
embargo,
reduce the
lo que voy a
fine to
hacer-
$100.
voy a reducir la multa a $100.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're denying or
Thank you, Your
affirming
Honor.
the appeal?
I'm in part affirming, in part denying.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I sustain, I deny the appeal.
Yo nego la apelación.
However,
Sin
I
embargo,
will reduce the fine from $500,
reduciendo
which is
la
the
multa
amount
de
set
500
forth in the code for this violation. I will
$100.
reduce the fine to
Estoy
$100
reduciendo a $100,
Thank you.
based on the circumstances that I heard.
basado en las circunstancias que he escuchado.
So, Your Honor, just before you, obviously you made your ruling, but I just want to,
También yo quiero
moving
agregar,
forward, this is essentially a condo association
Esta es una
in name
asociación.
alone. This building is primarily renters of the 33 units. I believe the gentleman here would also, he can affirm that fact, that this is actually, basically, this association is functioning as an apartment house. And so, moving forward, I understand, obviously they took care of the issue once it was addressed.
Bueno,
But
una
this is something that
ellos
the
saben.
unit, the property owners, the management company, or the association needs to be very much aware that when they have tenants in a
La asociación
residential
tiene que estar
property, that they
muy al
cannot
tanto de estas cosas.
use the fact that they're not receiving maintenance fees as an excuse
De hecho,
to not provide
de que
service, and I would
no
consider,
están recibiendo
not
los
having
pagos,
hot water for
eso
several days to
no
be
es
an
una
essential
razón
service.
para que ellos
I don't know that
puedan
he said
hacer
several
esto.
days. I think he said that immediately upon being noticed
dijo
that
varios
he
días. En
restored,
realidad,
they
lo que-
restored service.
Being noticed by the city.
Right. Okay. Sir, I'm going to instruct you that under no circumstances are the owners of these units allowed to cut service to these tenants, regardless of whether or not they're paying their rent, regardless of whether or not they're paying their maintenance. The proper procedure would be an eviction, but don't let this happen again. Next time, I'm not going to be as lenient.
My
Okay.
apology for the city.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
City will proceed with agenda item number 7, case number CTBPR 2019-00043, Nueva Terra Investments LLC at 565 Northeast 121st Street. Officer John Dorville.
Sir, please state your full name and address for the record and your relationship to the property.
My name is Alexis Justo, and I am the owner of the property.
City, please proceed.
If I can get my witness to state your name for the record.
John Dorval, City, North Miami Code Compliance Office.
And Officer Dorville, on or about March 1 of 2019, did you issue ticket number 12639 to Nueva Terra Investments LLC?
Yes, I did.
Can you verify that this is the ticket that you issued?
It is.
Yes.
Okay, proceed.
What is the nature of the violation for which you issued your ticket?
They were doing construction or building without a permit.
And how did you find out about this violation?
During regular inspections of the area of my zone, I drove by the property and saw construction equipment and the removal of asphalt from the property's parking lot.
And did you take any photos confirming the violation?
I did.
can you verify that these photographs, two photographs dated March 1, 2019, were taken by you?
They were.
Yes.
Without objection, admitted.
And what is depicted in the photographs?
There are linear lines of asphalt that are dug up several inches deep along the perimeter of the actual physical building.
And is this the type of work which would require a building permit?
Absolutely.
And is it considered a violation of Section 5-32 of the city's code to complete this type of work without a permit?
That is correct.
Did you perform a search of the city's records to see if there was any permit on file on the day and time that you issued your ticket?
At the time I did, yes.
What did you find?
There was no permit on file.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Officer Dorville, I see the photographs. I see there's some trenching going on, some asphalt work going on. Do you know whether this was in preparation for some type of plumbing work, or what seems to be the reason why the work that you observed was being done?
The reason, I mean, obviously, when I got there, in terms of the asphalt being dug up and the asphalting digger, the actual digger, there was a plumbing line that was leaking, spouting water. But my assumption at that particular point was that, or the educated guess that I took was that because of the digging, that there was a line had been struck.
Right. On one of the two photographs, I see some what appears to be PVC piping. I'll show you the photographs and ask you of what relevance is that pipe.
I believe that to be the plumbing line, one of the water lines to the actual building, if I'm not mistaken. And that's really one of the issues, as well as obviously having the asphalt dug up. It was the depth of it. And obviously there's issues if you're doing any type of digging in the city that you could hit the municipal line or any gas lines, if there are any, but it's the possibility. That's why you have to pull the permit in order to make sure you don't hit anything that might be vital or cause harm to the residents and the occupants of the building itself.
Okay. Mr. Justo, what is your defense?
Your Honor, I spoke to him, and he told me that he would not shut down because he saw when I turned the water back on that there was leakage coming out. What had happened on that day at about 1 o'clock, I got calls from tenants that water was protruding in the parking, okay? So when I got there, it was approximately about 1:30. He showed up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I asked him, do you think that I can get a permit at 3 o'clock, a full permit to do basically a repair? But when we trench from one end of the building to the other, Your Honor, the pipe was like corroded, and it was like a sprinkler, water coming out. And what I did when he was there, I turned the water on, and he said, his words were, I am not gonna stop you from doing this work because it's an emergency. He just told me, go get the permit, which I got the permit, and I got a final on it. It took a while because I had to get, plans drawn up and everything, and it takes a while, but I did get the permit, and the job was completed, and I have pictures also showing you of the excavation and everything, and the permit, and you can see final pass.
You're submitting the building permit?
Yeah,
What
the
are-
building permits and also the pictures of the work. Because Mr. Doorbell, if you were there, I turned the water on, and your words were, I am not gonna stop you doing the work. Do you remember
Yeah,
those?
speak into the mic so that
Do you
everybody hears
remember those words that you spoke to me?
I mean, I remember speaking, I don't know specifically, but I remember speaking to you about the property. Obviously, this is a multi-unit family property.
Correct.
And
14
I do
unit.
remember portions of what you're saying to me, but I also remember saying to you as well that because you're a commercial property owner, that obviously you know everything you do on the property, it requires a permit. So that if you did receive a call, and this is why I issued the ticket to you, because if you did receive a call at 1 o'clock, you are obligated, you know, your responsibility as a property owner is to contact the city, say, hey, I need an emergency permit to do this work. Whether it's 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, that's the due diligence necessary in order not to receive a ticket for building without a
Okay,
permit.
let me understand the sequence of events. There is a pipe busted, right? Yes or no?
Yes,
Okay.
it was a sprinkler, basically.
A sprinkler pipe. Okay.
No. It was a main water line, but it was like a sprinkler.
Okay.
Water was
So the water was shooting up into
right and
the air.
And as a matter of fact, when they built that building, I swear to you, I think it was not even 6 inches off the asphalt.
Okay. So there was a problem. You're the owner. Somebody called you and said there's water all over the place.
It protruding
And
on the asphalt.
And you went out there and got a machine to.
No, I didn't get a machine. I called the plumbing guy, and he sent his, I guess, subcontractors. He was the one that rented the machine, and he was doing the, and basically, like I told you, it was like 6 inches,
I know. I heard that.
and normally it's
So-
supposed to be like,
So,
I think 18
so
inches.
your plan was to do what?
To get to get the job done, you know, to try to fix the problem, but apparently as we trench, you know, I mean, it was just a sprinkler.
So you
basically.
decided to remove the old corroded PVC pipe and put in.
No, it wasn't
new ones.
PVC. It was not PVC.
What
It
was
was cast iron.
Okay.
Cast iron.
What are those pipes that are in there in the photograph?
Well, if you see the pipes that are there, it comes from the backflow meter, which is copper, and then the plumber with speaking to the general contractor, said that he could put PVC, but it has to be done the right way, you know. It's got to be pressured in, and
Okay, I don't want to get into the weeds.
The
I
tech-
just want to know. So the plan was to do whatever emergency repairs needed to be done, and then and then what?
we thought we could do emergency repair, but as we trench, it was, like I said, it was just a sprinkler coming out of the,
So did you contact the contractor, your plumber? Did he or she contact the city?
I believe they did not contact the city, because how are you gonna get a permit? That's what I explained to him. How are you gonna get a permit at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when he showed up? And he said he was driving by, and in reality, he wasn't driving by. He got called because I saw the lady come over to see what I was doing. A neighbor
Okay.
called
So
the city.
so the issue that I see here, and it happens frequently, is that you have an emergency situation that requires immediate attention, you know, for life safety reasons, and there are situations where you physically and time-wise, you can't get a permit. So what is the property owner supposed to do at that point, counsel?
Your Honor, I would ask you to take judicial notice of Section 5-32, Section B of the code. And if you look at it,
Read it to me.
any person who commences any work on a building structure, electrical, gas, mechanical, or plumbing system before obtaining the building official's approval or the necessary permits. And the emphasis is the building official's approval. In an emergency situation, you would contact the building department, let them know, I have an emergency situation, let the building official come onto the site and verify the problem and know of what repairs. As Officer Dorville testified, there is a process in place. They chose not to.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. There is the ability to do the repairs emergency repairs
Under the building official's
under,
guidance.
under the approval and direction of of the building official.
Exactly, and then obtain a permit, obviously the next working day, if it was in the middle of the, you know.
Right.
It was a Friday. If you look at the date, it was Friday when he showed up at 3 o'clock.
Right,
And
and our
he-
building
and-
department
and
is open
that's
till
it-
5.
Right, but that's an official officer, and he told me I would not stop the work because I see the emergency. So what am I supposed to do? He is the official from the city, and his words were, I am not gonna stop because this is an emergency. That's what he
Okay.
said. And now he's sitting right here in
Yeah.
front, and now he says he's heard some words, but
That's not his testimony. That
Right.
is not consistent with the testimony that Your Honor has heard this
When,
morning.
when did you apply for a building permit?
well, Your Honor, it took time to get the drawings and everything. I submitted them on March 11th, as you can see the date here.
That's 10 days after the event.
Because you gotta get the plans, you got, you know, you have to do drawings and.
Okay, I take notice of a building permit issued on, looks like issue date is April 15th, 2019. You probably applied earlier than that,
Correct.
right? On,
I submitted the paper, as you can see, when they stamped it on 3/11, I believe.
on the day in question when the ticket was issued, March 1st, did you make any efforts to contact the building department?
No.
Okay. Based on the testimony of the officer and the property owner and having viewed the photographs presented and the building permit, I will sustain the violation and deny the appeal.
The city will proceed with agenda item number 8,